Flying with Asian Airlines once carried a specific expectation: elite crews, consistent luxury, and the feeling that a long-haul journey was a prestige experience. But as we move through 2026, that polished image is cracking under the pressure of rising costs and fading standards. Subscribe to my channel Travion IQ for more essential travel intelligence that keeps you ahead of the curve. Today, many of these legendary carriers have changed so much they are almost unrecognizable. Delays stretch on without explanation, cabins feel more cramped than ever, and basic services are quietly being stripped away while ticket prices keep climbing. In this video, Travion IQ has ranked the major Asian airlines from those you should avoid at all costs to the elite few that still deliver a world-class human experience. Starting at the bottom of our 2026 rankings is an airline everyone knows, but very few are questioning until they are stuck at the gate. Number 15, Air India. How can a brand this massive still feel this unpredictable? On paper, Air India's massive aircraft orders and recent rebranding suggest a new era. In reality, the experience remains a total gamble. Passengers in 2026 still describe disorganized boarding, aging interiors that vary wildly from one plane to the next, and a service culture where your comfort depends entirely on the mood of the crew. Communication remains vague, and delays are treated as a standard part of the process. Until Air India delivers a consistent product across its entire fleet, it remains a risk that many travelers don't realize they are taking. Popularity is not reliability, and that is why Air India sits firmly at the bottom of the Travion IQ list. Number 14, Saudi Arabian Airlines. One frequent flyer recently described it perfectly. Nothing went wrong, but somehow everything felt difficult. Saudia operates modern aircraft and follows strict procedures, but the journey often feels like moving through constant resistance. Interactions are stiff, boarding is overly procedural, and the system lacks the autonomy to solve problems when plans change. You are guided through rules, not helped through situations. On board, the service is formal and distant. Requests feel like an imposition rather than a part of the service. You land feeling oddly exhausted, not because of a failure, but because the journey never felt easy. Number 13, China Eastern Airlines. This is a massive state-linked carrier built on scale and hierarchy. It is efficient when everything goes perfectly, but it is incredibly slow to adapt to passenger issues. At China Eastern, procedure outweighs flexibility. If a delay occurs, information arrives late because authority sits far above the ground crew. On board, the service is functional, but lacks any sense of warmth or engagement. You move from point A to point B in an atmosphere of total opacity. You are given instructions, but never the why behind them. Number 12, Asiana Airlines. Once known for being quietly dependable, Asiana now feels like it's in a state of permanent transition. The experience depends heavily on your specific aircraft. Some flights are classic and comfortable. Others feel decades behind the curve with entertainment systems that are almost obsolete. There is a palpable uncertainty in the service. The processes work, but they don't flow. For travelers accustomed to modern standards, Asiana often feels like an airline that hasn't quite decided what its identity is in 2026. Number 11, China Airlines. This carrier often gives the impression of doing the bare minimum, deliberately. From dated cabins to passive service, everything feels stripped down to the absolute essentials. The experience isn't bad enough to be a disaster, but it is never good enough to be memorable. Interactions are scripted, and requests are handled with a sense of indifference. It is a checklist airline where good enough is the ceiling. Number 10. Cathay Pacific. This is perhaps the most disappointing entry on our list because the name once carried such prestige. Today, the Cathay experience feels narrow and conservative. The cabins are orderly but plain, and the service has shifted from legendary to transactional. The crew is professional but noticeably reserved, lacking the confidence that once defined this global hub carrier. It is an airline stuck between its past prestige and a present reality that feels scaled down and uninspired. Number 9, Etihad Airways. Etihad has spent years trying to reinvent itself, but constant change hasn't led to a better experience. Instead, the product feels fragmented. What feels like a premium suite on one plane might be a basic seat on another. This lack of uniformity erodes passenger confidence. Etihad's ambition is visible, but the execution is unpredictable. You never know which version of the airline you're going to get, and in 2026, that's a gamble most travelers would rather avoid. Number 8, Turkish Airlines. This carrier is admired for its massive reach, connecting more cities than almost anyone else. However, that scale creates a massive consistency gap. One flight might feature a world-class meal and an attentive crew, while the next feels rushed, crowded, and chaotic. Turkish Airlines is high intensity. The hub in Istanbul is impressive but can be overwhelming. It is an airline with immense potential that often struggles with its own massive size. Number 7. EVA Air. This is the safe choice. It's rarely anyone's first pick, but it's an airline you'll rarely regret. EVA Air doesn't try to reinvent long-haul travel, it just delivers a flight that works. The cabins are clean, the service is efficient and polite, and the operation is predictable. It is a masterclass in restraint. You won't be amazed, but you won't be frustrated. For many travelers, that is exactly what they need. Number 6. Korean Air. As a legacy carrier, Korean Air offers a very structured and professional experience. The cabins are practical, and the legroom is often better than the industry average. However, the service can feel formal and distant. It is a highly controlled journey where everything follows a routine. It is a solid, mid-tier option for those who value efficiency over personality. Subscribe to my channel Travion IQ to see how these legacy carriers compare to the new industry leaders. Number 5. All Nippon Airways, ANA. The ANA experience is defined by a sense of rehearsed calm. From the quiet boarding process to the precise service, everything is designed to eliminate friction. The aircraft condition is immaculate, and the procedures are consistent across all routes. The only downside is that it can feel emotionally distant. Some might find it a bit too mechanical. But if you value predictability and mental ease, ANA is nearly impossible to beat. Number 4. Japan Airlines, JAL. If ANA is a machine, JAL is a host. The experience is softer and more personal. The crew engages with travelers naturally, making the journey feel human rather than procedural. There is a level of hospitality here that goes beyond simple service. JAL prioritizes the passenger's emotional comfort, ensuring you feel like a guest rather than a manifest number. Number 3. Emirates. Emirates is a production. Everything is built on spectacle, from the dramatic cabin lighting to the world's best in-flight entertainment system. It is designed to impress. While the service is polished, it can feel a bit performative, and the consistency across their massive fleet can vary. But for those who want their flight to be an event, Emirates still delivers the most visual polish in the sky. Number 2. Singapore Airlines. This is the gold standard for discipline. Every element of the flight feels engineered for perfection. The service is quiet, obsessive, and incredibly precise. The environment is so controlled that it creates a unique sense of calm, even on a 19-hour flight. It is an airline that rarely breaks its own rules, offering a level of stability that other carriers can only dream of. Number 1. Qatar Airways. Qatar takes the top spot because it balances precision with genuine warmth. Nothing feels rushed or performative. The flight simply unfolds with quiet confidence. The Q-suit remains the industry benchmark, but even in economy, the service is present and human. Qatar Airways manages to feel premium without being intimidating, and its consistency across different aircraft types is unmatched in 2026. It is the perfect balance of comfort, flexibility, and elite execution. That is the Travion IQ ranking for 2026. From the unpredictable gambles to the elite masters of the sky, choosing the right airline is the first step to a successful journey. Subscribe to my channel Travion IQ for more honest breakdowns that save you from travel horror stories. Which of these rankings surprised you the most? Share your stories in the comments. I read every one. Travel smart and choose wisely.